The truth is most property investors get stuck at 1, 2, or even if they're lucky, 3 properties. My name's Thomas Regan. I have 11 property portfolio and I make these videos to help people get to the next level with their property investing. So I guess one of the big keys that people miss when they're building a property portfolio is when they're building their property portfolio, if you want to keep on growing your property portfolio, you actually need to keep on growing your income. And it is, I guess, the easiest way to grow, as perceived, the easiest way to grow your income is, work more hours at your job or get a higher paid salary. When what people actually forget about is the other way to increase their income is increase their rental income on their portfolio. So this is the big thing that most people don't get here in Australia when they invest in property, because negative gearing is just, everyone just talks about negative gearing as the best thing in the world. But quite honestly, negative gearing is one of the biggest reasons why people aren't able to grow their property portfolio to a large size, is because they're buying properties that are negatively geared, and it absolutely is detrimental for their borrowing capacity when it comes to getting the second or third property. So if you want to grow a large portfolio, you should be looking at properties that have good cash flow. This will help you. The better the cash flow in your portfolio, the larger the asset base, the larger you can grow your portfolio. Okay, so why does it matter? Because in property investing, it's the real game you're playing in property investing is a finance game. It's, a lot of people miss it. It's not it's not a property game. It's a finance game. Unless you're buying property in cash, property investing is a finance game. And to be honest, if you're buying property in cash, you should be investing your money somewhere else, because buying property in cash, quite frankly, is not a very good investment. The reason property investing is so good is because it is a leveraged return, okay? So when you're buying property, the bigger you grow the asset base, the faster you are growing wealth. And you might say, okay, but I want my properties to grow at a faster rate. But if your property is growing at a faster rate and you have a small portfolio, then the person who has the larger portfolio, they will actually trump your growth by having a larger portfolio, even if the rate of growth on their portfolio is a bit lower. Okay, so the people that are buying the cash flow positive properties, even if their properties are growing at a slower rate, their property portfolio will grow larger, quicker, because they will have a larger asset base, okay? A $1 million property being tapped out and not being able to acquire any more properties in your property portfolio at a $1 million property portfolio is not as good as getting to, say, a $2 or a $3 million portfolio that has a growth rate difference of 2%. One property portfolio is $1 million with a 7% growth rate versus a $2 million property portfolio with a 5% growth rate. It seems like the one with the 7% growth rate is better, but it's not. It's not, because the fact that the other portfolio is larger, because the other portfolio is made up of cash flow positive properties, is better. And the fact is, the larger property portfolio, if it's cash flow positive, it is actually a lot easier to hold as well. Okay, so I just wanted to sort of debunk the negative cash flow or negative gearing myth here in Australia, and help people understand that if you want to invest like a professional investor, invest in positively cash flowed properties. Ultimately, people think that it's one or the other, capital growth or cash flow. The reality is, if you know what you're doing, you can get both. I have cash flowing positive properties. That's what my property portfolio is made up of, and my cash flowing positive property portfolio has had more growth than any blue chip area here in Australia. Any standard blue chip area here in Australia is growing at a 7 to 8% growth rate per annum. My property portfolio has actually grown much faster than that. In a 3.5 year period, my property portfolio has more than doubled, and generally in a blue chip area, ideally what you're wanting is a growth rate on a negative cash flowing property of 7 to 8%, or maybe even higher, but ultimately that would be a doubling of the property portfolio value in a 10-year period, 7 to 10 year period. My property portfolio, cash flowing positive, it's doubling in a 3.5 year period. So what's better? Negative cash flow or cash flow positive? I'd say cash flow positive. Have a good one, guys. Bye.